there are big cats and there are monster big cats. This is a seriously big cat. This is the brand new Sunreef 80 Eco. For those that don't know Sunreef yet, over the last 20 years they've built 200 big cats. This, the latest for the owner of the company. And they have some pretty big sports names. There's pretty big stars now buying into Sunreef. So you've got Nadal, who has one, and Fernando Alonso has just used this one for a week's cruising. Anyway, it's called the Eco because you may notice it is impregnated with solar cells throughout the boat. So it has Sunreef's brand new composite-integrated solar technology in the hulls, in the mast, in the superstructure, wherever it can. And yeah, they take these cells and they put them, each one is in its own grid. So if there was ever any damage or it stopped working, it can be replaced rather than having to strip out the whole hull. But it's wherever they can up the mast, as say superstructure, it's used. So the hull's obviously getting the direct sunlight, but also reflected solar power off the water as well. So we got a chance here at the Cannes Yachting Festival to have a look on board this massive machine. So rather than just having the solar panels on the hard bimini, they've used them on the structure wherever they can. So what you end up with is 160 meters squared space of solar field. What that means is at peak capacity, it can generate 34 kilowatts of energy just from the sun. Or on average, I gather, about 27 kilowatts. And what that means is, together with hydro-generating props, the idea is that they can get as close to a sort of clean and quiet cruising as possible. So in reality, you can run the house systems all night, aircon, etc., without having to have any engine or generator noise, no fumes, no vibration, etc. So coming up the aft transom here, I missed the shower. Yeah, you can obviously have a shower in the cockpit. That's got one on this aft deck. Then you have this massive dinghy platform here, which raises on these arms. I have a huge dinghy back here, and what that doubles as you launch the dinghy and you've extended your yacht. Have this beach terrace, which also lifts up, like a lot of the cats do now, and extends the aft cockpit area. Not that you need to. There's a pretty phenomenal amount of deck space on this yacht already, but you can see how you have a daybed and dining area here, and then with that raised up, if you were having a big old party, plenty of space to do so. The engines are traditional, engine each side under those aft decks. Access to the Flybridge there, wet bar area, stowage below feet. And we'll go into the saloon now. Huge sliding doors to open out into the interior. This one is set up for private use and quite used for charter as well, because you have the galley down this side and crew accommodation down here. And not shy on entertaining space. The piano just gently automatically playing away here, it's not me. Table extends, obviously you've got a pop-up TV there. And yeah, this very much set up for entertaining on this main deck level. Pilot station here and another one on the Flybridge. It's easy to stand and watch from the interior, especially under power. Another bar and wine cellar area here, and then a watertight door out onto the forward cabin. Dropping down into the starboard hull, you have a double guest cabin forward, ensuite heads, and the master cabin further aft, and that's denoted by new feature on Sunreef having an extra large porthole. So normally they're the vertical port lights we'll see through the boat, but yeah, this one, big opening area in it as well. Walk-in wardrobe, wireless charging by the beds, sofa area, and obviously a very large shower stall and heads area. It is very calm. I think a lot of the Sunreef owners now going for these darker interiors. It's obviously a lot of light on deck, so you come down in here, it feels quite relaxing and calm. Carpet, etc. The choice of everything I should mention on the boat in terms of interior finish is customizable. There's so many layout options, and equally, you know, talking about the colors, the hull choice. Dark hull obviously hides the solar, but some are going for light hulls to highlight it. That will be interesting to see. Could look quite futuristic. You drop down to port here into a really nice sized galley, and talk about cooking with a view. Direct steps obviously up into any service area up there apart from the Flybridge, but phenomenal amount of refrigeration space, stowage space here, and yeah, as I say, I wouldn't mind chefing in here, and also a little crew mess area forward as well. And in these hatches below here you have access into battery compartments in there. So the battery compartments are temperature controlled and have cameras in there, so you can monitor the batteries in there, which again are Sunreef use their own proprietary technology buying the batteries, but they add in their own electronics to them. And moving down into the port accommodation, again we have two more double guest cabins here. I mean, I'm not surprised Fernando Alonso had a nice time on this boat. I think anyone would, for a week's charter or two, or a month. No shortage of space and comfort, light, views. As the piano plays away, we'll come up here and straight out through the watertight doors into the forward cockpit. Now, as well as the extraordinary amount of space, which I don't think you'll ever get used to, thing to point out here is that, you know, you've got these sunken sofas and day beds, which together with these high bulwarks gives the guests pretty good privacy in here as well. No point trying to show all the stowage, it's just a phenomenal amount of area, but there is a 4-peak crew cabin and more stowage in the other 4-peak as well. Really wide side decks. So you can have cutaways in those bulwarks as well to add views from the main saloon. See here again how the solar cells have been integrated into the superstructure. Every area used that can be, and apparently most new owners now, bear in mind that Sunreef have over 40 yachts in production at the moment. So they have their historic shipyard in Gdańsk in Poland, they have a brand new shipyard there, and they're now going to be opening another one in the UAE as well. So I mean, serious demand for these yachts. And then you have the Flybridge, which is just another sensational amount of space. So altogether on the yacht there is 340 meters squared area, which is, it'd be interesting to calculate what that is in monohull terms. I guess this is equivalent to about 150 footer. It's astonishing. Now this can obviously be totally customizable, used however you want it. It would feel enormous without all these zones it does have in it. Big daybed area just forward of the mainsail traveller there. And then you have a big dining area, drop down tables to fill in a daybed, and then the coffee table area further forward. Sort of typical now of Sunreef on their large yachts. You can see there on the ones behind, they also have single pilot stations. You and I might wonder how you would dock a boat starboard side too like that, but there's a big reliance obviously on cameras. There's cameras all over the boat, docking cameras, and people to help. But saying that, it's typically only crewed by 3 people, by 4 permanent crew, maybe an extra one for, high-end charters as well for service. But it's set up to be easily handled from this area when you do have the sails out. And then over to starboard, of course. Got to keep fit on these boats. And wet bar and barbecue area as well. And up above here, obviously, the bimini, which carries a lot of that solar field as well. Does that mean you can call a boat eco if you're putting all these solar panels on it this size? I'll leave that to you to decide, but it's an extraordinary and an impressive machine. That much I can say. There's not a single person here that's walking past this yacht without staring at it in amazement, really. Anyway, glad to have the chance for the tour. Thank you to Sunreef, and hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.